Well, hey everyone, welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG, back at it again with another market update. Just a heads up, I don't think next week we are going to do the market update. I think I'm going to take a week off. Anyway, just wanted to let you know that this week we are doing it. We are good to go. I would love to highlight my collection tracker over at patreon.com/KitchenTableTCG. You can also just go to KitchenTableTCG.com to get access to that. Access to a collection tracker, updates in real time whenever I update the videos, which is usually every single week. I haven't missed a week, I don't think, since April or since when? I don't know. We have Midtown Merchant too. Go to midtownmerchant.com to buy your singles. And as patrons, you also get a 10% off discount code that was actually messaged out to you this week today. So make sure you utilize that over at Midtown Merchant. Anyway, let's hop into Monarch and see where we're at in terms of the value of the cards. As we talk about sealed product right now, a little bit of downwards pressure on the sealed boxes for first edition. You can see we had a little bit of upwards pressure, hit a point about 290. There were a couple sold listings at 300, and then people started entering the market again. Now we're down to like 275. Let me pop up here and show you some sold listings this week from eBay. So you can see like 320 sold with like the at-home release kit. You've got one for 265, for 290, for 265, for 270. You can see, somebody got a really good deal on one for 220. You can see the prices. We're still trying to figure out what the new price point is on these. As we saw some increase, I think this is going to be what happens. Typically, you're going to see an increase and then some people come into the market to sell, which will drive it back down. Meanwhile, on TCG Player, we're starting to see a little bit of slight gains on the unlimited boxes. I don't know what that's up, but the lowest listed right now is $72. So let's hop in and look at the Fable and see where the Great Library of Solana is. Not really any movement on eBay for the Great Library of Solana. It's just simple. There's just not a bunch moving on Facebook. I think the lowest I could find on Facebook was like 1,500. That has not sold yet. So no real change there. Meanwhile, the unlimited version has dried up on TCG Player and Facebook and eBay, and is upwards, going up to about 290. So not a huge gain, but as we approach these cards, this is, these are the lower value of that we've ever seen for the Fables, as well as the Heart and the Eye. This is like the lowest market we've seen for the Fables. So interesting to see where that bottoms out for the unlimited version. Let's take a look at first edition and look at the EV and see is it worth it to open a $275 box. Let's see if it's worth it to open it up. So for the footsteps, no real change. The husk, a little bit of downwards pressure on the husk. The story of the legendaries right now is the Vestige of Soul, which is seeing some sold listings on eBay at around 250. Multiple this week, actually around 250 seems to be the market price for a Vestige of Soul, which is a downwards pressure. Last week we seeing him sell for about 320, so that is down 21% this week. Versus 1 month ago, we're still down over a month ago as well, as a low of 300. So you can see we're still trying to figure out exactly where the bottom is on some of these, but the other ones not dropping nearly as much. Valiant Dynamo down 7% and Eclipse down 6%. Cryptocurrency is starting to move back up. It'll be interesting to see if any of that money moves from crypto into Magic or into Flesh and Blood, and specifically into Monarch. I think it'll be interesting as it's the lowest value set right now, or if that all goes towards Tails pre-orders and that kind of thing. So Vestige of Soul at down 21%, 250. Your average is around 270. You can see you're starting to see some things here. Carrion Husk and Footsteps being the ones that you want, the rest of them being the lower value ones. Looking at the Majestic Cold Foils, Luminaris. Majestic Cold Foil. Luminaris losing some value this week. Sold at 300. Let me pop it up and show it to you. Sold for like 300. There was one last week that sold for 350 on TCG Player. You can see some action on them too. Again, some more downwards pressure on some of these. Hexagore down to 150, Raiden down to 145. Your average is only 269. Galaxy Black, though, is still holding strong. I sold this thing on eBay for 600, which is up 4.5%. That one was at 575 last week. So you can see that we're trying to find the price points, still down 8% here. Look at a card like Luminaris. We had a huge dip, and then we kind of saw the market, end with it. and then more came to the market, and then we were flatline, and now we're going down. It's just all about where the market is. I don't know. It's an interesting case study. It's gonna be fun over the next 6 months again to see what happens with all these cards specifically. Can't wait to be there for that. Yeah, your average is at 269. Let's move on to the common cold foils. Still just, I mean, look at that. Look at those values. Down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. But then the Halo of Illumination is up. So I don't know what's up with that. I mean, this is Sam Yang artwork. It's a beautiful card. I know that that's going to be one that a couple people are targeting to just collect a bunch of them. That could have something to do as the price, dips below. People just buy them up to whatever price they think it's worth. The other cold foils, I mean, they're just showing no signs of stopping here. They're just a slow trickle down on the average pricing. It will be really interesting to watch that. Your average is at $59.50. I think what's happening is people are seeing the issue of playability, and that they're utilizing, like Snapdragon Scaler, still a card that's being utilized over most of these. Even like the chess pieces, everything is a place, and like where's the place for these cards in the gameplay? And so then people aren't bringing out their decks. It's just not as iconic. We'll see what happens with these long term. All right, let's look at the extended art. 2 flip-flops here. Lumina Ascension actually sold for $175. This is in good condition on eBay. That's down a lot, but a Herald of Erudition also sold for $350, which is up a lot. You can see these are interesting. Like they're so rare, they're so scarce, but are they collectible? Do people really want them is the question. So we had a peak pricing of $750. This week we're at $350. The low prices was at $280, which was last week. We'll see what happens. We were pretty standard at this $350, so I don't know if maybe last week the price was just a low one, but we were pretty standard. This Lumina Ascension for $175. I would not personally be selling a Lumina Ascension at $175, but that's what the market price is on eBay. So do with it what you will. Make sure you do your own research and decide your own stuff on this. I'm just kind of basically showing you sold listings on eBay and TCG Player and what's being offered on Facebook. So all right, let's take a look at the Rainbow Foil Majestics then. All in all, we're starting to flatline. We've lost around 4%. You got a couple cards like Mutated Mass that are starting to show some signs of life that were pretty low. They had dropped down and been pretty flat. So a couple of them that are being utilized, as people buy the Rainbow Foils, they're going to pay them more money. They're going to buy the first edition. That's going to drive the Rainbow Foil first edition ones higher than the unlimited Rainbow Foils. And so that's where you're going to start seeing some differences. But you can see these are all cards that are played. Shadow of Ursa, Soul Shield, Nourishing Emptiness, Mutated Mass is seeing some play recently. Guardian of the Shadow Realm, yeah. But that's just kind of what's going on. You can see some downwards pressure though too, like Soul Food, no one's playing it. Rouse the Ancients, I haven't really seen it played. Tome of Divinity, maybe. Sonata Arcanics, one deck's running it. They're just not becoming as iconic as some of these other ones like Shadow of Ursa. Also the Shadow of Ursa, if you turn it, it looks like it's pouring, which makes it really cool. Anyway, your average Majestic is sitting at $17.56 for the Rainbow Foil, which is again just down a little bit. It'll be interesting to see where these. I was thinking we're close to the bottom. I mean, down 4% is not really anything to be huge about, but look at how flat we've been. I think it will take a lot of pressure to push downwards anymore on these cards. Looking at the regular Majestics, we're down 5% there. Again, you're starting to see the first edition and the unlimited for the non-foil stuff to be very, very close. It's like, what's the price point? It's just close. The cards are just not seeing a huge change. There's a couple of differences there, like Celestial Cataclysm, the price point's starting to differ. Like I think the unlimited is like $14, whereas unlimited was like $17 and first edition was $18. So I think what's going to happen is the first edition Majestics are not going to go down as much. They might just start staying flat. Like they're not going to start rising that much, I don't think, but the unlimited ones are just going to trickle down as more supply enters the market, is my gut of what's going to happen. So your regular Majestics, an average of $5.08. Looking at your Rainbow Foil rares, we're going to kind of flip through the rare and commons pretty quick in this video today. No real changes. Vexing Malice still, sitting the same, down 3% or 0.3% or up 0.3%. Nothing really to talk about. Regular rares up 2%. Again, nothing huge. No real things to gain. I don't want to just waste everyone's time with this. Vexing Malice still, a card that's seen a lot of play. Heralds are seeing a lot of play. You can kind of gain, I mean, it's all the things that I said last week. Rainbow foil commons, we're, talisman dowsing. Nothing's really changing, down 1%. Nothing's really changing on the rares and the commons, especially in unlimited. All right, let's take a look at the EV per box. You're going to see the true EV includes the commons, but if you don't want to include the commons, which you shouldn't, you're sitting at $264.80. That's if you open up 40 boxes. This is your average. If you don't want to open up 40, if you just don't want to include the Fable at all, you'd be sitting at $229. If you don't want to include the legendaries, you're sitting at $137. You can see how much of a percentage the legendaries pop in. They're adding $92 to the EV of the set. So like opening 4 boxes is almost a must if you're going to be opening the boxes. I would highly recommend that you don't just open 1 box because the value is so tied to the legendary. And it's just is what it is. Like if you're just going to open 1 box, you're losing out on that chance. You're only going to sit around $137, which obviously wouldn't be worth it. That being said, if you do hit a legendary, you're sitting at $229. That's closer to the sealed box price. But the cards are not quite there. I wouldn't say to open boxes right now, to be honest. All right, looking at unlimited, we'll kind of fly through this. We'll just go to the legendaries. We already did the Fable. You can see a lot of downwards pressure, down 12%, average at $100. Downward pressure across the board. I wanted to focus in on Carrion Husk, which saw a peak last week. As again, I said, a lot of people were playing Chain. We actually saw 3 weeks in no, that's our days. We saw a big peak last week. We saw a kind of steady growth. Now we're kind of dropping in value a little bit. I don't know if more boxes are being opened. I don't feel like many people are opening Monarch right now. Maybe they're just not showing it. But maybe people are switching from Chain. I don't know. I don't want to take any. Maybe it's just across the board. Things are down, so it doesn't really matter. But Carrion Husk at $140, Footsteps at $175. Your average is at $100, down 12%. Looking at your rainbow foil majestics, you can see Luminaris drying up on the market. This is what tells me that maybe people aren't opening as many boxes when stuff like this happens. There's sold listings at $38, $35 on eBay. They're kind of all over the place. But the lowest I think right now on TCG is like $42 for the rainbow foil. This is the type of thing that suggests to me that people aren't opening up boxes at as high of a level as they were doing a couple weeks ago. When you see a spike like this go up 40%, it usually means that the market is very, very dry. And so I think that's what's happening. Like I said, Celestial Cataclysm starting to drop down in the unlimited version. Shadow Puppetry starting to drop down. Soul Shield starting to drop down. These are cards that a lot of people are playing, and like last week, the last couple weeks, people have been buying them, driving the prices up, and now people are seeing, oh, okay, that card's worth money, so I'm going to sell it because I'm not using it, and that drives the prices down. That's essentially what's going on here. Your average Rainbow Foil Majestic is sitting at $6.26. And now this is where it gets interesting. Your average Majestic is sitting at around $4. If you remember, the first edition Majestics were sitting around $5. Like I said, like you're going to start seeing, so like the average Rainbow Foil price is going to start going up for the Majestics. See, like the difference. Sorry, I'm talking about the gap between Majestic Rainbow Foils is going to start going up from first edition to unlimited, whereas your gap for regular Majestics I don't think is going to be there as much. Could be wrong, but looking at this, Luminaris going down, Celestial Cataclysm going down, Shadow Puppetry going up, Soul Shield going down. You can see again the higher value cards people are coming to the market with because they're trying to raise funds for something, right? Probably Tails or whatever, building their own deck. And so they sell the cards that are worth money that people don't use. There's a point of no return where like a card's worth $1, it's just not worth listing it, so they don't. So your average is at $3.80. All right, we're gonna just breeze through the rares and we'll skip the commons. You can see Soul Reaping, Vexing Malice, all the same stuff as the last couple weeks, but we are down 14%. And looking for the rares, a lot of downwards pressure as well, down 6%. You can just see, I don't know, Herald of Triumph definitely in the most valuable, but it's also losing value. This was the same as first edition. So Herald of Triumph, something's going on there. Those cards are definitely being used and played. but the market is just not fully accepting everything. So, all right, let's take a look at the unlimited EV per box. You're sitting at no regular commons. You're sitting at $101. That's if you open 40. If you're not including the Fable, you're sitting at 94. If you don't want to include the legendary, you're sitting at 60. This does include a lot of the foil commons, which are a little bit weird. I just used TCG low and they were up quite a bit this week. Again, like I would not include those. You're not going to be able to sell a bunch of 20-cent cards. If you go to KitchenTableTCG.com, you can actually look at, you can actually take those out. You're probably selling at more like $45-$50, not including those commons. It's going to take a lot to sell those. So you're sitting at more like $45-$50 if you don't hit the legendary. Again, look at how much room this legendary takes up. It's so important that you don't just open one box, that you utilize the idea of hitting a legendary. So anyway, hope you guys like that stuff. Remember, if you want to support the channel and support and have a collection tracker, head on over to KitchenTableTCG.com or patreon.com/KitchenTableTCG. Gets you access to a collection tracker, also access to a Midtown Merchant discount code for 10% off. I hope you guys have a great day. We'll do Crucible of War tomorrow. We're going to do Unlimited and First Edition Crucible of War. Should be a good time. Hope you guys have a great day. Remember to be kind to the people around you.